Trigger warning: the video that I'm about to film is gonna consist me. I'm gonna be talking about various mental health issues, self-harm and suicide. So if anyone's triggered by that, this is the warning now to click off if you get triggered when eating disorders and etc. So this is the trigger warning now. But I just want to say I don't mean to trigger anybody. I'm here in support of everybody, and I just wanted to give advice on things not to say to people that could suffer of that. So I'm sorry if I do trigger anyone, but this is just a general advice video, and I hope everyone's okay, and I love you. Bye. Hi guys, it's Chloe, and I'm back with another video, and today's video is things not to say to someone who suffers with mental health issues. Let's get into the video. Snap out of it. Like, if only it was that easy. Like, if we could, we would. And I'm saying we because I'm worried about obviously more than one person, and then I'm included in that as I suffer from mental health. You're faking it. Not gonna lie, it's not something you would want to fake or lie about. So, yeah. Just be happy. Like, we're trying. But, you know, our brain doesn't help. And situations can make things worse as well. But it's generally, like, our overthinking brain that makes things worse. Anxious, just stop worrying. Like, just tell someone to stop worrying. It's not like it's just gonna go like that, because it's really not. I mean, the amount of times I wish I could, like, some of these worked, but they don't. So just don't say any of these things, because it would annoy so many people. You're so depressing. Don't say that someone's depressing. Like, if they suffer from depression, what do you expect? They're gonna be sad and depressed. But you're meant to support them for the good and bad days. So if you're saying they're so depressing, then you're not a good enough person to accept them for the bad days and just want them for the good days. But if someone's depressed, most of the time they're not gonna be a happily bubbly person like they used to be or may have been. Take a chill pill. The amount of times I've heard this really annoys me. Like, take a chill pill, and I'm like, that just annoys you even more. Next one. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just get over it. Just get over it. That's so annoying. Like, just get over it. It's so overused, but really annoying. Think positively. As if we're not trying that already. Like, just be like, yes, brain. Like, the amount of times I've tried and talked, like, to my brain, I was like, come on, think of positive stuff, positive compliments, think of, like, all the things I'm grateful for in my life, and, you know, all it takes is one bad thing, and then that positivity is out my head, and it's focused on that one bad thing, and that's for me. I don't know about everybody else, but that's that. And then saying it'll be fine, like, I feel like lots of people say that when they're talking to people that they don't want to, like, they want to open up but they don't, and they're scared, so like, oh, it'll be fine. But, or like when you're reassuring that, oh, it'll be fine, just get over it, you know, like, and I'm like, yeah, just no. You are being dramatic. Someone with mental health isn't being dramatic. They are realising their feelings and their emotions, whether that may be depression, anxiety, OCD, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar, etc. They are recognising their feelings, and everyone's different with how they cope and show symptoms and signs of that disorder, which I'll get on to why it shouldn't be called disorder or issue or problem, because that just makes it more worse to talk about, because, like, it's like mental health problem, mental health issue. I'm like, then you wonder why people don't talk about it, because it's literally labelled as a problem and an issue, and disorder as if, like, it's a bad thing, which it's not. Like, the population and rates of, like, people getting diagnosed with more mental health issues and self-harming or suicidal rates is ridiculous. We need to come together as a community, and do it better, really. So yeah, you just want attention. Trust me, the last thing someone wants is attention. If it's a cry out for help. If someone tries to talk to you, that's because they're trying to see if they can trust you and confide in you. And if you just say that they're doing it for attention, then that's just going to prove to them that you're not able to understand enough and that they're not able to talk to you. Why are you sad? Why ask that? Your life is amazing. Like this one annoys me. So you can have so many good things in your life, but you can still be depressed. I love my family. I love my family. I'm in a relationship, and I'm happy, but I've still got mental health. It doesn't erase it. Only it could, but it doesn't. You have no reason to be feeling this way. I'm like, well, obviously I do, as it's led to the diagnosis, and situations have led to it, so it's obviously is a reason. So that's that, and it's like, if you don't think about it, it will go away, which is kind of true. Like, if you try and distract yourself, you do try and distract your thoughts, and it is better, but just saying that is not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's really hard to get out of your own head. That's me. That's what I struggle with, especially on the really bad days. That isn't a real thing. Yes, it is. Mental health's a real thing, and it's rising, as I've said, so it's very much real. But you smile all the time, so it must be fake. That's a thing called masking, which autistic people can do as well. Where they mask because they just don't want to talk about things. So you can have a fake smile. Doesn't necessarily mean they're happy all the time and happy within themselves. So yeah, I mean I smile quite a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm not depressed or have other mental health issues. Everyone has social anxiety. You're not special. This one annoys me because yes, everyone experiences anxiety, different forms of anxiety in their life, but not everybody will have social anxiety. You've got introverts, you've got extroverted people, and some people have different forms of anxiety, as I said. And I never said that they're not special. I never said they were special. I'm just saying not everybody has it. Have you tried yoga or meditation? Loads of people say that this is meant to work. For some people it might. For me, I personally haven't tried. I've tried to meditate, and that doesn't do anything. In yoga, I haven't tried, but it's not something I'm really interested in. But for some people it might work, so you could try that. But sometimes suggesting that to someone can be a trigger, so just yeah. I was like, maybe if you go out more, suggesting that you go out more, this is what I get a lot, because I don't go out much, and you should get out more, you just need some fresh air, the fresh air one, yes. And I'm just like, but I don't do outdoors. I just don't do outdoors, and I have a massive fear. No matter if I'm with family or not, I just don't like being outside, and I don't know if anyone else has this, but I have a fear of crime, and I don't feel safe if it's not in the house. And even sometimes in the house I don't feel safe, especially on a night time, because I know everyone else is asleep, and I know crime rates are high at night, and I'm just, that worries me, and I struggle to sleep as it is, and then if I'm having a bad mental health day, that doesn't help as well. Just cheer up. Really? If we could, we would. You're lazy. This one really, really winds me up, because I'm like, people think that people with mental health are lazy because they have so little energy to or none, like me and my brother doesn't understand my mental health, and he uses that one against me a lot, and it hurts. And I keep saying it's like it's my mental health, but he doesn't understand. And then another thing, stop being rude and talk to people. People have anxiety and don't like talking to new people, and even people that they are friendly with, anxiety is still a thing, and they're just weird. Like, I know for sure I don't really like talking to people. I like people talking to me first, and even people that I'm like more friendly with, like I still prefer them too, but I still like initiate sometimes, but it's just more their thing. It's just a phase. If only, but no. Like, I've had mental health for years, since I was 15, 14, 15, and I'm now 20, so call that a phase. So you have a mental illness. Like, when someone, like, obviously uses that and says it like that, it just makes the whole thing more worse, and makes the person want to not trust you and to open up, and that could cause a lot of trust issues in the future for that person to not want to open up to anybody, and that could just make them go on a downward spiral. People like you are crazy. Like, no, they're mentally unwell. They don't realize what they're doing. Like, in specific, like when someone says, when that think of that, I think of like someone who's like bipolar having an episode, or schizophrenic people, and it's not their fault. And but close-minded people, why can't you just do it? It's so easy. What's easy for some isn't for others. Simple as that. And not everybody has the same struggles in life. I get nervous too sometimes. As I said about anxiety, everybody gets anxious and nervous at times, but it's different intensities, and just saying that doesn't really help. I know you're trying to comfort them by saying like, oh, I get like that too, but like it kind of like devalues them in a way, because you're like, they're trying to open up to you, and then you're just saying, oh yeah, I feel the same. Like, sometimes just saying I'm here to talk rather than relating to them all the time, and let them talk to you, can be better. You aren't trying. Like, believe me, we are. Just, it might not be to you, but believe me, we are trying. You're a handful. Like, you don't think I know that? You don't think I know that I've got so much going on in my head, and the way that makes me act and behave? You don't think I know that? I don't need to hear that. And don't think other people know that. Like, it's not, you don't say that. Like, most of the stuff that people say, these things that people say, you don't think we already know that, because we, like, people with mental health tend to overthink, so we've probably thought all of this through before you even said this. So it doesn't really matter if you say it's just going to make us get worse. Just start thinking those thoughts. Right. The way I say this, try telling someone who's really suicidal to just stop thinking those thoughts. Yeah. Unless you're a genie who can magically wish that way, which is not going to happen, that's not going to happen. Like, you can't just stop thinking and just do that. It's not physically possible. I wish it was, but it's not. You don't look depressed. What's the look? What do you have to look like to classify as being depressed? Why do you cry so much? Not everybody with depression cries a lot. Some people cry a lot, some people don't. It's each to their own. You have no reason to be depressed. And I'm like, well, people end up depressed for a reason, so like that obviously is a reason. You're always making excuses. This can be down to your mental health, like making plans and cancelling last minute, or making excuses for like your behaviour, but it's not an excuse, it's you taking care of yourself. But You can choose how you feel. Yeah, I can choose how I feel. Like I'm choosing to feel like depressed. I'm choosing all those bad thoughts. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing that. No, I'm not. This is something in my head that I really don't want. It's like when you have the conscience on your in the head when you've got the devil on one shoulder and the angel. It's like the devil's always talking and the angel's just constantly silent. That's what mental health, in my opinion, is. And it's just awful. It's popular to be depressed. Like, why would someone want to be depressed just to fit in? Like, it's not a good thing. Trust me. People that are would wish that they're not. But trust me, it's no. You don't look like you have an eating disorder. So, eating disorder, like, just because you ain't stick thin, that doesn't mean you don't have like a form of eating disorder. Like most people obviously think if they're linear anorexic, but there's different forms of eating disorders. There's anorexia, there's bulimia, there's binge eating disorder, like for the overweight people, people like are a bit bigger. Like even people that are bigger are just not eating. That's classed as eating disorder. It's those are different things, and like you don't look like you have one. Like what's the look? Like I think the stereotypical look is like this typical really skinny person, which isn't always the case. You're too negative. Like I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but my brain can't help that. I'm trying to be more positive, but my brain overrules everything that I try to distract myself with. So yeah, you take things way too seriously. This one annoys me a lot because it's also thanks to like my autism, and it's known that that autistic people can take things a bit more seriously than others, and that one really annoys me. And I'm just like, I don't mean to. It's just I may be more sensitive than you, and it's just what I might find funny isn't funny to other people, and vice versa. But you look healthy. You can look healthy, but it's how you feel on the inside, and inside here, and everything. Like just because how you show and present yourself on the outside doesn't mean nothing's going on. Nothing's going on the inside. It's like the good old saying: you don't know what happens don't know what happens behind closed doors. You don't know what happens inside someone. We don't invite you out as you always bring the mood down. Like, do you really think that's gonna help saying that to someone? That's just gonna make them be like, oh, they don't like me, and they'll overthink even more. Like, why do that? You're too young to have one. Mental health does not have an age limit. Like, anyone can have it. So, yeah. I don't like this you. I prefer the other you. Don't we all? I mean, don't we all? If like, I'm sorry. I'll just I'll give the other me a call to come round. Like, if only, like, no. It just isn't like that. I really wish it was, but it's not like I choose to be like this. We don't choose to be like this. It's not our fault. We are like it's force. It's pressure. We are people try to be more happy, but it doesn't help when we're inside our mind and situations around us doesn't make things better. When you grow up, you'll realize all of this is stupid. Yes and no. I mean, you probably will. You could look back in the future and be like, oh, probably overthought about that. But don't saying that to the person as of right now in the moment, not a good thing to say. Honestly, who cares? Like, just saying who cares, like, that's just rude. You need to stop holding on to the past. Like, saying that to someone with PTSD, like, no. Like, even though I don't personally have PTSD, I have had moments where I've had, like, negative memories that keep coming back to me, like, when I'm feeling really low. And, like, it's not like I'm holding, and I can't help but hold on to it. Like, if you're feeling bad and it sometimes just is stuck there and you can't get rid of it. Just anything make you happy. Like, just because you're depressed doesn't mean nothing makes you happy at all. And that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My socials will be at the end of this video if anyone who may want to talk. I've been Chloe, and subscribe, and love you. Peace.